Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. We are not registered financial advisors. Hey everyone, time to go over a monthly update for the Harvest high income shares. So the first one I always look at is MSTE, of course. No, I'm just joking. The first one I always look at is HHIS, the all-in-one. So HHIS remaining steady here at 27 cents a month, but we do have some increases and decreases in terms of the single stocks. Remember, HHIS is the all-in-one for the US and HHIC is the all-in-one for Canada. So I absolutely love these little arrows here down and up if there's any changes. So the most notable changes are definitely big increases on AMD and Broadcom. No surprise, those stocks have been kicking ass lately. So and by the way, thank you Remy Pinot from our Facebook group who put the amounts and the increases in the percentages. I see here he's using AI to do it, but I just want to thank you, Remy Pinot, probably Québécois. Alors, mon ami du Québec, merci beaucoup. Well, maybe he's from France and he'll find that insulting. But anyway, Remy Pinot, at least I think I pronounce his name right. I'm sure it gets destroyed every time. Remy Pinot, right? English people, right? Ugh. Anyway, moving on now. By the way, I apologize. I'm a bit sick. My voice is really bad. So AMD, big distribution increase from 55 cents to 75 cents. Been on tear. Broadcom, 40 cents to 50 cents, 25% increase. So this is massive here. Even Apple, pretty big increase, 17 cents to 20 cents. And in terms of, there's CrowdStrike actually. CrowdStrike is going from 22 to 30. There it is. That one has, keep in mind, guys, these could change every month, right? For the decreases now, you have the Palantir is decreasing from 55 to 45 cents. Palantir stock's not really doing that well, so it makes sense. It's kind of flatlining, which means lower volatility, which means lower premiums. Robinhood is going from 22 cents to 20 cents, a small cut there. And even SoFi is going, or SoFi or whatever you pronounce it, 20 cents to 15 cents. On the Canadian front, we do have some increases. So Suncor, no surprise, Suncor is going from 24 cents to 27 cents. Where is it? Here it is. Even TD is going from 13 cents to 15 cents. It'll increase there. Shopify down a little bit. So Shopify is going from 25 cents to 21 cents, 16% drop. And even the gold one, Anico Mines, gold is starting to go back down now. It's at 4,500 an ounce, so it's going from 35 cents, here it is, to 30 cents, a 14% decrease. So notable that MSTE is holding firm at 15 cents. I did make a video, I think maybe about a month ago, saying that there could be a distribution decrease. This was, of course, when MSTE was in the $3 range, and now right after I made that video, it passed $4. It even hit $4.60 at some point, but now strategy is going back down. Bitcoin has fallen below 80,000. So MSTE is in the high threes, but it is in the threes. So I still stick by it. I'm going to tell you guys that you got to expect possibly maybe next month, not this month, obviously, but maybe next month, a distribution decrease for MSTE if it stays in that $3 range, because 45, close to 50% yield is way too much. It is way too high. I mean, the volatility on MSTR is falling as well, only at 65. Yes, it's the highest volatile thing ever, much higher than Bitcoin, which is now about 40. Bitcoin actually has less volatility now, by the way. Let's see, IBIT has a volatility of 39, which is less than Nvidia and Tesla. So I just can't stand people that's on the mainstream media. Mainstream media, I could only watch it for about 10 seconds before I get completely turned off. But number one thing they always say, even though there's all kinds of these announcements where Bitcoin is becoming mainstream, it's too volatile. It's too volatile. It's not that volatile, okay? It's less volatile than Nvidia and Tesla now. Get the heck over it. But anyway, HHIS, guys, the all-in-one, it is the biggest position in my portfolio. Massive AUM. I'm over 1.7 billion. So it's going to be, I have no doubt it's going to be Harvest's number one most popular ETF in terms of AUM. Right now, it's still HHL at 1.8 billion, but I'm very sure that it's going to pass HHL in the not too distant future. So this is great news. These increases are great news for HHIS, especially the AMD and Broadcom. Why? Because unlike Biggie from Evolve, HHIS is not equal weight. It's more actively managed. And if you look at the latest portfolio holdings, you see that the three biggest or 4 or 5 biggest positions are the stocks that have done really, really well. If you look at number 6, it's Apple. So you see that Google, AMD, Amazon, Broadcom, Nvidia, Apple have the biggest share, the biggest percentages of HHIS. So if there's big distribution increases for AMD and Broadcom and Apple, like there was, especially AMD and Broadcom, it has a really positive impact on HHIS because HHIS is simply taking in more premium, which increases the chance of a future distribution increase. I'm not saying there's going to be a distribution increase. It is an all-in-one, but it just increases the chance. It makes HHIS stronger. And I know you're going to say, yeah, but what about Palantir that lowered it and CrowdStrike raised it again? Palantir lowered it. SoFi lowered it, Robinhood lowered it. Yeah, but keep in mind that these are a lot smaller positions, right? 2%, 2.1, 2.2%. Palantir, 4.6. It has much less decreases on those, obviously has a much less impact on HHIS because they're smaller positions in the portfolio. This is not an equal weight portfolio. So, so question for you guys. I know Harvest watches these videos. I hope they do anyway. Look at the comments. What single stock in the US do you want to see next? So in Canada, by the way, they have HHIC. Canada's kind of like a boring stock market. But for the US stock market, I think the new SpaceX IPO, I think when that company goes public, that would be a fantastic high income share to launch for SpaceX. And by the way, they announced that that company holds 18,000 Bitcoin. So it could actually, by the way, be added to HBTE, right? I think that company could be added to HBTE to increase diversification because, hey, that company is going to has 18,000 Bitcoin. It's not exactly a Bitcoin company, but maybe they'll add it. We'll see what happens. I think it would be cool to add it in HBT, but I definitely want to see it in HHIS. I would say kick someone out. Maybe someone I don't really care about. I think Reddit is the one I don't care about the most personally. I want Coinbase to stay in. I want Circles to stay in. CrowdStrike, IT security, I guess. Even Netflix. I don't really care about Netflix, but maybe that one could stay in. Palantir, I want to stay in. Costco, Lilly for the stability. But my vote would be to kick out Reddit and maybe put the SpaceX name in here. I also think they should launch Tom Lee's Ethereum company Bitmine as a single stock high income share. I think that would be great. It's going to have a lot of volatility, and just like a strategy, it's basically the same concept but for Ethereum, right? They're an Ethereum treasury company, so that could be a great Ethereum proxy. I would like to see that as a Harvest high income share. Now there's a couple of other ones that are not actually in here, like Block and Oracle. For example, there's a couple of other ones as well that they decided not to put in HHIS yet, but they can eventually. They could swap things like that. There's Johnson & Johnson. That's too boring, my opinion. Block is not in there. Johnson & Johnson's not in there. JP Morgan's not in there. That's a boring one that'll bring down the yield. Novo's not in there. I think we're just fine with Lilly, who I don't care about no another pharmaceutical. Oracle, maybe. I mean, Oracle is doing fairly well. It's a little bit higher volatility, you could say. I wouldn't mind Oracle going in there. So I definitely don't want to be in Harvest's shoes and Paul McDonald's shoes to decide which one's going in or out. But if I were them, I would consider raising the maximum number of companies or holdings in HHIS from 20 to 25. And maybe making some of these newer ones smaller positions. I definitely would like to see Oracle. I mean, this HHIS for me, I look at it as a concentrated NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100 with a lot more torque, a lot more yield. And it's doing really, really well, by the way. And I do have an upcoming Q&A with Michael Kovacs, the CEO at Harvest. I think it's going to be Michael Kovacs, where we're actually going to discuss the performance of HHIS. This is a very, very important video. Like I always mention, it's not just about yield. We also can't ignore total returns. HHIS has been doing pretty good. But of course, you guys know that already because I look at the performance every month on my monthly series, Best Covered Call ETFs in Canada. If we just do HHIS versus the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 in terms of total returns, not price return, total return, the most important thing. You see that during the good times, it spiked here. This was really the nice tech stock spike. But then when tech takes a beating, it will go down much harder. But you see that since common inception here, since end of February 2025 until end of April 2026, so there is quite a bit of data. There's over a year of data. We see that HHIS is comfortably outperforming the S&P 500 by pretty much double, and the NASDAQ 100 as well. QQC is literally the Canadian version of QQQM, right? The Q's, NASDAQ 100. So it's doing phenomenally well. So I just find it strange that sometimes I see YouTubers and more YouTube videos coming out on HHIS, and the titles are definitely clickbaity. And as a YouTuber, I understand you're trying to get as much views as possible. What's the catch? Too good to be true, a hidden danger, all this nonsense. Always remember, guys, what I'm telling you here. The ultimate truth is not what I say. It's the total return. And look at these total returns. So congratulations to the team at Harvest. Paul McDonald, I know this is his baby. He's doing a fantastic job. Love those guys at Harvest. And this is why HHIS is always going to be a significant part of my portfolio and the number one position in my portfolio right now. And actually, it's the only position in my parents' TFSA accounts as well. Caveat for that, if you want to see my parents' and grandparents' accounts, I unveil it every single month as well, just like I unveil my portfolio, but it's for members only. If you click that little join button where the subscribe button usually is, you'll get that. Sorry, I just had to plug it in. But anyway, that's it for the monthly Harvest high income shares update. See you again next month. You guys love these updates, so I'm going to keep doing them, keep you informed here. Thank you. Thanks again to Remy and everyone posting in the Facebook group right away. You guys are making my job easier. Harvest made my job easier as well with these arrows, but now with the Facebook group, people posting the actual percentages and the numbers, I barely have to do any work. And you guys know me, I love doing no work, right? The least amount of work as possible. This is why I'm a cover call passive income investor, right? So I wish you guys have a great day, everyone. Stay safe, stay passive, stay honorable, and see you next time.